Onboarding and training process. So, you set up your KPIs. You set up your compensation. You built and proven a process that works. We've talked about promotion scale. How the hell do you onboard somebody? How do you get them into this process? You don't need this systemized yet, but you need to understand it. Okay? So, they get all the way through the group hire. We're going to show you guys the system tomorrow. However, new hire comes in. Onboarding checklist is complete. We're getting them in. It's organized. Everything's taken care of. I'm not running around like crazy. You're not running around like crazy. They don't have a bunch of shit that they don't need, and they have everything they do. Okay? There are 3 phases to any training that you're going to do. 3. That's it. When most people think about training, especially for sales, they get completely inundated. Like it's a lot. There's too much. I got to think through everything. I got to build all these videos. I got to train them on objections. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's simple if you boil it down. Okay? You've got onboarding. What do they need to have set up? What systems do they need to be in? What emails, what access do they need? Right? Very simple, very basic. It's literally onboarding them. What documents do they need to sign? Okay? You should have this mapped out. If you don't, we'll help you. Okay? The next phase, you're setting up training. Setup and training. What does that mean? Systems, training. How do you use the shit we're going to give you? Okay? And training. Product training. Company history. Why do we do what we do? Principles. Vision. Where we're going. How the promotion process works. You are giving them all of what they need to basically go into production. And this is where the 30-day challenge starts. If you guys have questions around this, please ask. Because this is probably one of the best things that we've ever come up with that works extremely well. Makes it really easy. Yep.
As your team expands, do you think the managers of like 7 pods should be hiring training?
Yes. Your sales director will, or your VP. However, in this process, you can essentially let them self-onboard themselves. So when you do get to a point where you've got 2, 3, 4 pods, whatever the case might be, right, and you're scaled out, onboarding, very simple, sales administration, executive assistant, whatever the case might be, right, they take them through the checklist. Once they drop them in to the last piece, they go into the setup and training section, which is literally, you're going to start with a spreadsheet, and then you're going to move it into an LMS, which we're going to talk about, okay? But the 30-day production period, they're on the team. They have objectives that they need to hit, and we're going to go over that. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. However, it should be very simple. Be very simple. They should have and be able to self-onboard themselves through everything, okay? So it becomes easier. It becomes less work as long as you set this up. Okay? So what you'll notice in between these sections, there's forms. The way that we track this and make sure people are ready, right? So if you bring on a group of setters, when do you know when it's time to actually give them lead flow? When do you actually hand them over leads? When do they start calling? Are they ready? I don't know. Here you go, there's 300 leads, call them. Most people, that's what they do. Welcome to the team. Here's 300 shit stepped on leads that you can start trying to dial. Not good. Not good. Morale's not going to work. They're not going to do a good job. They're not going to be able to step up. They're not going to get in a routine. And it's just, that's not the way to do it. So in the setup and training sections, right, you're going to have different forms, and basically checkpoints is what we call them. Okay? And I'm going to show you guys a slide here briefly in a second. But these forms are at the bottom of your training. So if you're literally in a Google Doc, you're literally going to put a link to a form, say, fill this out when you're done. Aaron Platt, Aaron@salesmomentum.io, this date completed, checkbox, submit. Cool, guess what that does? It sends them the next portion of the training. Why are you doing this? It's very easy. You're trying to make sure that you're delivering what they need at the time they need it, so they can go through the material that's relevant at the time, make sure they don't miss anything. And you're making sure they're ready, so when they fill out this last form, you can turn on lead flow. You can make sure they're good to go. Yep.
Is there a platform that does this, like maybe one better than the other, go high level versus HubSpot?
So everything that I'm showing you guys for this entire weekend can be built in one platform, and that's HubSpot. You can do it in GHL, you can do it in Close, you can do it on other platforms. You're just gonna be doing a lot of zaps, and you're gonna have a lot of other platforms tied into it, okay? So, perspective real quick. HubSpot, okay? Start to finish, everything you need marketing, everything you need sales, everything you need CS and fulfillment, and everything you need to run these processes and automate everything here, it's in that platform. So, when you're talking about, you know, tech or whatever platforms, right? Your marketing team, your sales team, your CS team, your fulfillment team, everybody has one login to one platform that basically does everything for you, okay? And we're gonna talk a lot about that. However, everything that I'm showing you can 100% be automated, ran, and built in HubSpot, which we're gonna show you 2 different ways to do it tomorrow, whether you're going an alternative route or you're using HubSpot. But that's why we're going over this stuff and why we're going over it at a high level. We're not going too deep because everything that I'm showing you today, we're going to talk about exactly how to do and completely systemize tomorrow. Okay? Cool. Last piece of this that I want to talk about. So once they actually complete their training section, they complete the form, lead flow turns on. Now they've got the production milestones. Okay? Now what I'm showing you guys right here is the exact system. This is actually VT's documentation, so value attainments. So this is what we built for their basically client portal. This is how they do it, okay? New rep comes on, so their manager submits a form, that form drops in here, ops takes care of this, automated survey goes out to the rep saying, hey, do you get everything? Do you understand it? Cool, awesome. They go to setup and basically training phase. That training phase basically gets delivered inside of HubSpot in a knowledge base. They go through it at the bottom of it, form, they fill out that form, next section gets basically sent to them. They're getting automated emails the entire way through Patrick, through the CEO, through whoever it is, okay? They complete the last form, lead flow turns on, leads get delegated, they get the production checklist, which is basically a challenge to produce. First 500 calls, 1,000 calls, 1,500 calls, they're all competing against each other if they're coming in as a group. So we're seeing who gets through the most production in that 30-day period. Again, competition. Guess what? If you're first on the spot, you get 50% commission to your first sale. You get $5,000, you get whatever it is, okay? And once they complete all of the production milestones, they're hitting this form, okay? What this is gonna do is it's gonna start to give you timestamps of how long it's taking you to onboard somebody to get them all the way through production, which is essentially gonna be your ramp time from new hire to meeting KPI. So if it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, you're gonna start to get that, okay? You're gonna start to understand, damn, this is not good. This is not good. This is great. Why did this guy finish it in 3 days and this guy took 45? What was his personality test? Oh, is that HG whatever? Great, I want those. That's what I want. I want more of those guys, okay? So that's how it's gonna start to play out, okay? Now, after they move in, complete this form, they're gonna get a 30-day check-in, 60-day check-in, 90-day check-in with whoever their sales lead is, okay? Cool. Let's see if this thing's working. There we go, cool. Go to the next thing. Offboarding, quick. It's not something I'm gonna spend too much time on. As your team grows, you guys are gonna have to be able to fire people. Sorry, not sorry, it's gonna happen, okay? So, when you guys have an onboarding process, guess what you need? The opposite, offboarding process, okay? This is one of the most important areas that you are ever gonna get to optimize what you have going on as your sales team, okay? If you're firing people, means obviously something didn't work for them, something didn't work for you, you wanna figure that out. That's probably the best feedback that you're gonna get and you need to use it, okay? So, when you're letting reps go, very simple. Guess what? Offboarding pipeline, just like onboarding. Somebody fills out a form, it's gonna basically ask if it's planned or urgent. If it's planned, cool, we're gonna take them through the process. If it's urgent, they're getting cut off right away. Very easy. Why are we doing this now? Because when you have 15, 20, 30 reps, if somebody's about to do something bad and you don't have this set up, good luck. It's gonna hurt, okay? So, checklist, email password, official email sent. Yes, we're gonna send them an email saying this is officially your last day, whatever the case may be, very easy. Okay, exit interview. The best thing that you can do with everybody that leaves your team is interview them. Usually, once you get to a certain size, it is not you doing the interview, it is somebody else. Okay, the reason being is because they're going to tell you everything you don't want to hear, which is what you need to hear. Okay? Next piece of this, exit survey. Give them a chance to say their next pieces, okay? Turn off Alloware, turn off HubSpot, get them out of the process. If you guys don't have this and you go from a phase 1 to phase 2, phase 3, let's call it in 6 to 9 months, you're going to have a ton of people in workflows that shouldn't be there. You're going to have a ton of people in seats that you're paying for that obviously aren't on the team anymore. You're going to be spending a ton of extra money you don't need to spend. There's going to be stuff all over the place from basically old historical people that should not be there. So if you don't get this set up in the beginning, like I was saying, not the sexiest thing, but you're going to basically thank yourself that you did it. Okay?
Who's responsible for the onboarding process? The sales leader?
Phase 1, it's you.
Yeah, but on the other phases?
Usually you'll have sales ops or an EA. HR, sales ops, depends where you're at size-wise. Around a phase 2 team, so once you get into about 2 pods, you're going to want to have some kind of sales operations person, 100%. And if it's not you, you got to either need to bring in somebody or hire a company or whatever the case may be, but sales ops is going to be very important as the team gets about probably 8, 9, 10 people plus. You're going to have it, okay? And they will be responsible. So if you fill out this form, they're going to get notified right away. If it's urgent, instantly, it'll literally text them, get this person off the system, whatever it is, right? If it's planned, all good. Cool.